Are you seeing, so one way to mitigate these high interest rates is to potentially get into a deal with seller financing, right? Just because the
Mhm.
banks lend at 8, you could find a seller that, so like conversations I've had recently in the last month, I put a LOI and I basically said, hey, you want a 5 cap? Good, give me a 5% interest rate. So are you seeing that in the space that you guys are dealing with? Because broker deals usually, I never really see seller financing take a place, but I know you've done some stuff with Florida and stuff. I know you've done that in the past. Are you seeing any kind of openness on the bigger deals for seller financing?
Absolutely. Both assumptions, which is taking over the existing loan, and seller financing has become way more prevalent now than it was in the last few years. And that's actually, again, if those people who are listening say, oh, I can't really do bigger deals or whatever, we did a $49.8 million deal with a big chunk of seller financing. So you just have to find the right buyer. Now, and especially the bigger you get, you're right, it's almost never advertised that way. The broker usually hasn't even had a conversation with the seller as to whether or not it's possible. And so what we do is, and now if we know that the seller is a syndication or they have no equity left because the value's gone, then seller financing, it's not structurally possible, right? But let's say you've come across a deal where maybe, a dentist bought it 20 years ago and you got this 20 unit property, he bought it 20 years ago and he has 25% debt on it or something like that. That's a situation, whether it's brokered or not, where, and this is what we do, is we put in two offers. We say, look, here's a price free and clear to them, which means we're going to go get a bank loan, we're going to go agency debt, whatever, and that has a certain cost, and that means we can pay you whatever. So let's just say they're asking 10 million. We'll say, hey, if we go get a new loan and we do all this, we can give you 8 million. However, if you seller finance this at, let's say, 65% and 5% interest, we can give you 9 million. Right. So we give them two offers, right? We want to show, hey, we're not dependent on seller financing just to get a deal done, but we can show we can pay you more if you're willing to do it. The Florida deal that we did was a $6 million seller financing at 0% interest. What we did is we structured it so we just make equity payments. So we're paying principal every month and that's it, no interest. And that saved that guy over $2 million in taxes. So that's another benefit to the seller financing. It wasn't just, we did get a great deal, but he also got a good deal out of it too. And if you can get in front of a seller and show them how that, especially if they don't know what they're going to do with the money, it can be a win-win. They're going to earn a return. They're getting cash flow. They're not having the headache of owning the property. They're going to get depreciation passed through, depending on how you structure it, if you structure it as equity, and they're going to defer taxes, and you can pay them more. So there's a lot of benefits to it. The trick is getting that proposal in front of them and having that conversation.